Oh yeah, you know what it is. Time for another episode of that Victory Talk podcast. It's a podcast where we talk about victory. You know what it is. It's in the name, man. We a little late today. I'm explaining why. I got a lot of explaining to do. Let's get into it. Start the show. Yo, you know what it is. It's another episode of that Victory Talk podcast. We out here. Let's get it. Big shit popping. I'm your host, Big Brandon Carter, BBC, King Keto, the king of ketosis, Gymnasium Jesus, Jesus de Gimnasio. And, you know, I'm always joined by the best producer in the game, Nima, co-host.
Let's go,
man. Producing the hell out of this shit, you know. Then we got, and then you know, on the comments, we got my Latina girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You hit. You know what I'm saying? When you hit when you on one of them sites and you hit Latina, someone like her gonna show up. Someone who looked like her gonna show up, man. But mine got bigger titties. You know what it is. All right. Yeah. Listen, guys, you may be saying, man, something's different about the king of ketosis tonight. It's not the same. Well, here's what happened. I got a mustache right now. All right. I got a mustache. But it's not because I think this makes me look more handsome. To the contrary, you know, I got a mustache because I cut myself shaving. All right. And it's like it's on my lip. So the mustache is covering the scar. But when you lose, guys, don't lose the lesson. Here's the lesson. When you're shaving, don't dance. I know this, but sometimes I still dance. Right. So I got, you know, the playlist on, and, you know, I'm just listening to songs. I'm like, you know, I'm hearing, you know, ever since I left the city, you started wearing less and going out. Fucking shaved off half my upper lip. You know what I'm saying? And now, in order to make sure I don't make this shit worse, I can't shave there. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good, man. This no shave June. You know what I'm saying? I can't shave there. I shave the rest of myself. You know, I'm just waiting for the wound to heal, for my battle scars to heal, and then I'm back. You know, I'm back to normal in bed. But don't worry about it. Don't let it get too distracted for you. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot to talk about today. All right. But before we get into it, we got to have a word from our sponsors. You know what it is. We got some sponsors. Yeah, we got some sponsors. This is episode 117. All right. Before I get into sponsors, this is not a sponsor, but the homie Ryan Holiday got a new book. The homie Ryan, he got a new book. I got a copy with the autograph in it, as usual, like I always get. You know what I'm saying? Because like I gave him, I dropped some jewels on Ryan. Last time we talked, I got one of our conversations on my YouTube channel when I interviewed him years ago before the fame. All right. And I feel like he's been waiting for like the right book to drop some of the jewels, some of the lessons that I imparted on him. I'm gonna read through this one and see if those lessons are in there, because I know he's just waiting for the right opportunity to drop them jewels. You know, that's not a sponsor or anything. I'm just shouting out the homie. And check out the video with me and Ryan. We got a bunch of videos together. Yo, all right. First sponsor is the newsletter Big Money Methods. Big Money Methods. All right, this is the newsletter that shows you methods to help you make big money. Yeah. Right. So when you're going to click that link in the description, first link, I think it's one of them. Right. And then you put your email in here, hit subscribe. All right. Then you're going to get email twice a week with free articles, about how to get money. You know what I'm saying? Methods to get big money. Written by me, yours truly, Big Brandon Carter. My boy Chris, he's one of my best sales people. You know what I'm saying? And the homie Scene. That's not Sean, that's Scene. You want your name? You want me to call you Sean? You spell it with a W. All right. So Scene is out here writing some dope shit. You know what I'm saying? We all out here, man. You want to subscribe to that immediately. All right. The next sponsor we got is Thot Repellent. Thot Repellent. It's the easy to apply spray that'll keep the hoes away. See, here's the thing. The reason this is really coming out. Nima, when is this product going to be out? It's in development now.
Yeah. We are just finalizing some like branding, packaging, stuff like that. So we should be ready in the next 70 days, I would say.
About 70 to 83 days. Somewhere in between. All right. And this is just a prototype, right? It's not going to be this size, right? It's not going to be this size. We're going to have a size that you can travel with. Because, when you really balling, you globe trotting. You got to go through TSA. You can't go through TSA with this. They won't know what the fuck you're trying to do, man. And here's the thing. Once you really start balling, the shot called listening to the Victory Talk podcast, improving your money, your muscle mindset, and you join our free Discord. In the Discord, we're dropping jewels on you, man. I got free courses in there. Yo, we released the free fat loss course. Direct Hit is in the Discord. I got a free fat loss course called Direct Hit. I used to sell it for $200. It's free for all Victinators in the description, right? So check it. And I got a free course called a Baller Mindset. That shit is fucking fire. Better than any money course you've ever bought. Straight up. Once you start going through all that material, all that content, and then implementing the strategies in your life, you're going to be in amazing shape. You're going to have tons of disposable income, wealth, abundance, right? And your mindset is going to be like somewhere between champion and warrior, right? And when these hoes see you, they're going to be like, oh my God, this is the kind of guy I've been finger and banging myself to my whole life. And they're going to come after you. But not all the women are going to be good women. Yeah, a lot of them are going to be Thots. And we got to repel the Thots, right? So this has been genetically engineered by Nima and his team of Iranian scientists. And some other, you know what I'm saying? And they put it together, right? And it's genetically engineered to only affect Thots, sluts, hoes, skanks, scallywags, skeezers, Jezebels, and any woman whose name ends with an A. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Or any woman with an apostrophe in her name, in her first name. You don't want any of that. You don't want no parts of that. I tell you what, right? Because those women will ruin your life. We saw what happened to Fresh, to our comrade Fresh. He almost fell. He almost fell down the wrong path. He fucked around and got a Thot pregnant. She used some sort of Korean witchcraft to get him to have sex with her unprotected. And then she was trying to carry his black babies so she can get his black monies. You know what I'm saying? Luckily, Fresh got away unscathed. You know what I'm saying? I thought I was going to have a little black and Chinese nephew, man. That I was going to teach the ways of the baller, and he was going to teach me kung fu grip or something, And Fresh got away, but you might not be so lucky. Yeah. You might not be so lucky. That's why we got Thot Repellent. You're going to need this, man. Someone said they saw Fresh in Chinatown. Listen, man. Listen, you need Thot Repellent. This is a real product that's really coming out in the next 72 to 86 days. Somewhere in between. Right? It's really coming. And this is how you know we coming. We got a song. We got a song.
That's my favorite part of the show.
We got a bunch of songs. 1 million songs. I don't know. Y'all gotta help me pick.
Just keeps getting better.
Y'all gotta help me pick. All right, so here's the version, the winning version of the Thot Repellent theme song. All right. But then there's a new contender. First, let's listen to the winning version.
Bitches be tripping. Hoes never act right.
Don't dance to this while you shaving.
Gotta stop the thoughts fucking up your life. There are some good women, but some of them are not.
Some of them are not.
That's why you need repellent to keep away the thoughts.
You gotta keep away the thoughts.
You need Thot Repelling. Keep away the thoughts, to keep away the thoughts, to keep away the thoughts. You need Thot Repelling.
Right, I hear a lot of songs and it doesn't have a good message.
To keep away the thoughts, to keep away the thoughts, to keep away the thoughts, to keep away the thoughts.
What they do? What they do?
They take you off your grind.
You ain't gotta tell me.
Spend all of your cash.
You broke as hell.
Take up all your time.
Waste your time.
All you get is ass. Just a spray will keep thoughts away. Spray it on your face. Spray it on your crotch. Cause you need Thot Repellent to keep away the thoughts. You need Thot Repelling.
Brother singing this hard. You can't just sing this unless you had Thot experience.
To keep away the thoughts. You need Thot Repelling.
Where's my brain?
To keep away the thoughts. To keep away the hoes that got OnlyFans. Keep away the hoes with 8 baby dads. Bitches with purple hair, but no money in the bank. Bitches who try to fuck even though that pussy stank. You need Thot Repellent. Keep away the thoughts. To keep away the thoughts. To keep away the thoughts.
Where's my fucking brain? The Matrix is keeping the brain.
To keep away the thoughts. To keep away the hoes that got OnlyFans. Keep away the hoes with 8 baby dads. You need Thot Repellent.
Yeah. The little one note at the end. You need Thot Repellent. All right, so that's the song that's in the lead. We got a new contender. We got a new contender in here. I'm gonna play it. Check it out.
If you want a good woman one day,
R&B.
you gotta keep the thoughts away. These bitches is crazy.
These bitches is crazy.
These bitches is crazy. These hoes is always lying. They do dumb shit and start crying. These bitches is crazy.
These bitches is crazy.
These bitches is crazy. Thot Repellent keeps away the stank hoes. Thot Repellent keeps away the sluts.
Keeps away the sluts.
Thot Repellent keeps away the hood rats.
Yeah.
Thot Repellent helps you find love. You need Thot Repellent.
Help you find love.
You need Thot Repellent to keep away the thoughts. You need that repellent, that repellent. You need that repellent to keep away the thoughts, keep away the thoughts. Keep away the thoughts.
Yeah. Keep away the thoughts. We got that one. I can like do this for hours. I don't remember what this one is. Which is, let me hear.
Bitches be tripping, hoes never act right. Gotta stop the thoughts from fucking up your life. There are some good women, but some of them are not. That's why you need repellent to keep away the thoughts. You need that repellent.
Yeah.
You need that repellent.
You need that repellent.
Keep away the thoughts. To keep away the thoughts. You need that.
I don't like that one as much. Hold on. This is the one. This is the
bitches be tripping, hoes never act right. Gotta stop the thoughts from fucking up your life. There are some good women, but some of them are not. That's why you need repellent to keep away the thoughts. Yo, you need that repellent. You need that repellent.
yeah.
To keep away the
right.
thoughts. To keep away the thoughts. You need that repellent. You need that repellent. To keep away the thoughts. To keep away the thoughts. You need that repellent. You need that repellent. To keep away the thoughts. To keep away the thoughts.
Yeah. Need it.
They take you off your grind.
Which one of
Spend
y'all
all
like
of your
this?
cash.
Spend all of your cash.
Take up all your time. All you get is ass. Just a spray will keep thoughts away. Spray it on your face, spray it on your crotch. Cause you need that repellent to keep away the thoughts. That's why you need repellent to keep away the thoughts. You need that repellent. You need that repellent. To keep away the thoughts. Keep away the thoughts, you need that repellent. You need that repellent.
Where's my grade?
Keep away the thoughts. To keep away the thoughts, you need that repellent. You need that repellent. To keep away the thoughts. To keep away the hoes that got OnlyFans. Keep away the hoes with 8 baby dads. Bitches with purple hair, no money in the bank. Bitches who try to fuck even though they pussy stank. Need that repellent. Need that repellent. Need that repellent.
Every guy got a stank pussy video. None of a stank pussy story. None of those stories end with him not fucking anyone. None of them. Never heard one.
You need that repellent to keep away the thoughts.
Yeah. Listen. You guys let me know. We're crowdsourcing this shit. You know what I'm saying? Let us know which ones you like. This is real. All your super chats are going to go towards the development of Thot Repellent. This is really coming out, and it will be out soon. It will be out soon. It will be out within the next 73 to 84 days. All right. Somewhere in between that time frame. We're narrowing it down. All right. Y'all let us know which one. We're crowdsourcing. All your super chats go towards development of Thot Repellent, and I think some heroes have already contributed to Thot Repellent.
We have Juan.
Juan.
NC. BBC, what's up, G? Any tips on door-to-door sales? I'm starting a landscaping and land clearing service. Thanks for everything.
He's cleaning land. Clearing. Service. Is land clearing service. You know what it is. Nah, when you out here clearing and land and you serving vice, you ain't got to tell me about that, man. There's a lot of vice lords where I grew up. I know all about it. But as far as the door-to-door sales goes, that's super tough, man. What it's going to be super tough, and it's going to take a lot of volume, for you to be successful with that, Juan. And you're going to have to go super hard because you're doing, the sales aren't inbound, right? So like my sales team, like people apply to work with us, right? So it's all inbound sales, right? So your position, there's a high degree of difficulty. Think about this. Imagine you're at a bar or a nightclub, disco, and you got, what's going to be easier if a girl comes up to you, right, and starts spitting game, or if you have to go up to the girl, right? Each one could work, right? But what's going to be easier, right? So you're in a position where you're going up to the girl. This is a metaphor, and it's going to be more of a numbers game for you, right? So you got to really keep your head. You got to really keep that in mind, that it's a numbers game, and you can't let the no's affect you, right? You gotta be able to just throw up shots and confidently go to the next one without the no's affecting you, right? It's going to be about the number of shots you put up, and the beauty of that is that putting up those shots you're going to get better, right? One thing that will help with your sales skills, and this is what I tell everybody, man, who's trying to get better at sales, is I call it the total immersion strategy. You get a few sales audio books, and you get 2 pair of headphones, and they should be waterproof, right? And you want to listen to those audiobooks all the time. If you're not talking to another human, you should be listening to those audiobooks. So it's like round the clock, or in your car. If you're driving in your car, if you're going to CVS, if you're at line at the bank, as soon as you wake up, start listening to sales shit, right? And that's why I like the waterproof headphones, because you want to be listening to that shit in the shower while you're shaving. This also prevents you from dancing while you're shaving, right? Because we know how dangerous that is. We all know how dangerous that is. I almost lost my damn life doing this shit. And it's and I was talking about this for a long time, and this kid, twice, there's been 2 kids who did this shit, who came up to me and told me they did it, right? Once I was in the lobby of the Wynn Hotel in Las Vegas, Nevada, and he came to me and said, "Yo, Brandon Carter, man, I've been doing that total immersion shit, man, and I made so much money." He was making like close to 6 figures a month. Another kid stopped me and my girl in the design district, said that he's like making a ton of money doing this shit because he started doing it. He said total immersion is what really helped him, because what happens is it starts to become in you, not on you. After weeks of this shit, weeks, maybe even months of this shit, right? You should be doing it all the time, so you hit your financial goals. Total immersion with sales shit, for real. It's going to help you. And just don't let the no's get to you, because you're going to get a lot of no's, and just go into it knowing that, All right.
We have Soul, say no to Korean witchcraft.
Yeah. This is true. You know what I'm saying?
We have the Noble One. Showing some love. Your intro beats are awesome. I'm grinding hard. Success is a road trip and can be a long one. These podcasts help keep me motivated. Thanks, amigo. That Repellent 2024. Jesus is Lord.
Come on, man. Listen, I agree with all of those statements. You know what I'm saying? Real shit, man. Shout out to you, the Noble One.
We have JT Coin Rings.
Right.
Repellent Fund.
All right. Shout out to Mr. Coin Rings. He out here doing his thing.
And we have Adrian. I need an advice, Mr. Carter. HTT course worth it? If I talked with Brian, he's a great seller. It's just me having the choices to invest my money or save.
Yeah. Well, listen, man, is it worth it? Of course it's worth it. I mean, listen, the value is it's definitely worth the price. Is it going to be valuable? That's going to be up to you, right? Price is what you pay, value is what you get, right? And the value is going to be from, it's like if it's something you really want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't get rich saving money, right? So and I'm not telling you, I'm not against saving money, right? And I'm not trying to get you to buy our shit. One, it's not a course, it's a mentorship program. It's a little different because we have 6 coaching calls a week, and everyone gets their own one-on-one, coach that they can work with, right? So it's different than a course, right? A course is like, hey, watch these videos. Good luck, asshole. All right. But like we got 100% money back guarantee within the first 90 days, However, listen, don't buy it. Don't join, right? If you got to decide if you want to do it, because it's going to take a lot of work, right? You got to the real point is you got to decide if you want to put in that work. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not easy. And it's not a get rich quick scheme. You got to put in a lot of work. But if you put in that work and you got the guidance of people behind you to do it, it's like you can't fail. And even if you do fail, there's 100% money back guarantee, right? So I don't know where else you can get that kind of guarantee, right? You can't get it in the stock market. You can't get it in real estate. You can't get it in nothing. There's nothing else but the money back guarantee. So there ain't really no risk. You know what I'm saying? So if you save them, so here's your options. You can save the money, right? And you still got that money, right? It's cool. All right, no problem. Or you can invest it in the program, and one of two things happen. Either you'll make back your investment and you'll have a business that you can start, and you can start multiplying that money, right? You just like taking that money, like their seeds, planting them in the ground and they grow shit. Or if it don't work, you get your money back. Right. So there's no version of this reality where you lose the money. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the thing. That's why it's such a weird, it's like, yo, it's just on you. I mean, there's no version of this where you lose the money. However, so the money back guarantee, you got to do the work. So it's like, if you don't do the work and don't make your money back, well, of course, man, we're not running a fucking charity. You know what I'm saying? Because it costs, you're going to get all the coaches and all our support. And if you don't take advantage of it, then it's your fault. But if you do take advantage of it and lose, then that's our fault. And it's like, all right, cool. But, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, or you can try it on your own. And that may work. You know what I'm saying? Read some books, get some podcasts, whatever, like do what you need to do, The problem with that is it's just how serious you are about success. Like Navy SEALs, when somebody wants to be a Navy SEAL, they don't be like, all right, man, here's some books. I got these podcasts I want you to listen to. And digest that content, man. We'll see you at the war. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't work like that. They got to train with other SEALs, people who already did what they wanted to do, and they get it. But you know what I'm saying? Listen. Is the decision's up to you. I definitely don't want to fucking try to force or convince you to do anything that you not sure about. And if you're not sure about it, like, I don't want you to join, right? Because I want you to be committed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want you to be like, damn, I really want to do this, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't. Yeah, man. if you like on the fence, then maybe like, all right. Maybe it's not for you, bro, on some real shit. You know what I'm saying? All right. Is that all the super chats? All right. I got a few moments. We're gonna get into this video, into the first lesson for today. We're probably gonna get cut off in the middle of this lesson because Romulus is gonna come through at 8. But I don't care, man. Listen, this is a segment we like to call Habits of a Winner. Man, that beat is hard. I made that for Mike Rashid for his album. He dropped the album, man. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty dope. Mike can rap. When he first said he was a rapper, like, man, every nigga from Brooklyn think he can rap. But then I heard, man, he can spit, man. All right. I didn't make it on the album because I gave it to him too late. He was already done. So he missed out. That's why he ain't platinum yet. Shout out to the homie Mike. All right, yo. In this video, I want to talk about the key difference between the mindset of millionaires and the mindset of average people. All right. And when I say average, I mean people who have average income, right? Maybe they accept, just because you have average income doesn't mean you don't have redeeming qualities in some other facets of life. But as far as balling and shot calling is concerned, these people, they can't really fuck with the likes of the real ones. All right. Now, you may be asking yourself, man, why should I listen to this guy? He got a tank top. He greasy as fuck. Well, because over the last few years, I built several multi-8-figure businesses, but more importantly, I've actually coached thousands of entrepreneurs. Few of them have, and many of them have went on to grow. Many of them have went on to build 7-figure businesses, and thousands of them have went on to build 7-figure businesses, right? And I want to show you exact 6-figure businesses. And I want to show you the difference, right? Because it's something that, as a business coach, there's something that always bugged me. It's like, how can two people with equal talent and the same information, how come some of them end up making millions and others, they get, multiple 6 figures, but they never make it past that 7-figure mark? What's the difference? And I do believe I've identified 5 of the major differences, and I want to break those down for you in this video. All right. Now, again, multiple 6 figures is still above average. The average American makes around $50-something thousand a year, right? The average American has less than $1,000 in their bank account, right? And they're 17 pounds overweight. Fat losers, right? If you're watching this, statistically, you're probably amongst the average. So the person I'm making fun of in this video is you, right? But I don't want it to be you no more, because I don't think I'm better than you. I just don't think you can be as good as me. And here are 7 ways. Here are 5 different ways you can change your goddamn mind in order to be more like me, at least financially, right? Because you're not going to be like me physically. Like, set obtainable goals. Number 1, the first difference is embracing difficulties versus looking for shortcuts, right? For example, the multimillionaires I know, the people who are really balling, right? They're always trying to see how far they can push themselves, right? How they can optimize things, right? How they can squeeze as much time or as much success out of each day as they can, right? And the broke or average people I know financially, they always seem to be trying to see how much they can get away with. And not just, it's not just financially, this bleeds into other areas of their lives as well. For example, I was on a podcast not long ago, and the guy was like, man, Brandon, you 42 and you in amazing shape. You look like the Oscar statue on steroids. And I was like, and he said, how do you do it? How do you stay in great shape? And I said, well, what I do is I keep this food scale on me everywhere I go, and I weigh all my food every day, even at restaurants. I'll be at nice restaurants, Komodo, Poppy, steak, and I break out the scale. And yeah, I know it's a little unusual, but if you want unusual results, you probably got to take unusual actions. And he said, yeah, man, but I'm sure you could probably eyeball your food and still probably be in good shape. And I'm like, yeah, probably, maybe. But here's the thing. I'm not trying to see how much I can get away with. I'm not trying to see what the least I can do is. I'm trying to see how far I can push myself. Right. And that's just one aspect of it. I'm not saying I'm not saying you got to track your food to make money. I'm just using that as an example, right? It's in all areas. And there's a thing where people like make fun of like the hustle culture. They make fun of people who try to optimize things. And I see that a lot online. And it's funny, but you really do need to you really do need to optimize yourself as much as possible in order to get the most out of each day, right? So you got to really be pushing yourself in all areas, right? Don't look for the shortcuts. Really look for ways that you can get the most out of life every day, right? So people see me say things like, oh man, I don't cook any food because I don't want to spend time cooking, grocery shopping, cleaning, doing dishes, any of that shit. I just order all my food and so I can work more. And then people like to make fun of me for that. Like on the internet, like other people make videos about it. And I get it, but they don't. And sometimes they'll say I'm lazy, right? But no. I'm doing that so I can work more, right? I'm doing that so I can work more on the things that make me money because I can make more money during that time. And this is just one example. Just you always got to be trying to push yourself, right? If you look at my calendar, when I've shown it in other videos, I have every hour of every day planned out for the most part, right? Almost nobody does that, right? But I'm really trying to get I'm really trying to squeeze as much success out of each day as possible. Because if you have a successful day, right, and you do that 7 days in a row, that's a successful week, right? And if you have 52 successful weeks in a row, you got a successful year. And if you start stringing together successful years, then you me. You know what I'm saying? Then you balling, right? But if you're not trying to push yourself, you're trying to see how much you can get away with, it's going to be super difficult for you to compete in the world because the world is super competitive, right? There's no way you compete with the people if you're not trying to optimize as much as possible, really trying to put yourself, there's no way you can compete with the people who are, right? And you'll never lift yourself above the ranks of mediocrity, if you're doing the mediocre shit, right? Extreme results take extreme actions. And you'd have to be a fucking crazy person to think otherwise, We're going to hold this thought. I got 4 more things. 4 more lessons I want to give you guys. But we're going to take a quick break to talk about making money in the stock market with my trading mentor, Romulus, former hedge fund manager Romulus, with the market recap. Yo, Romulus, what's going on?
Hey, man, welcome to Market Recap, hot summer night style. Everybody better be enjoying your summer because if you're not, you're doing something wrong. And hey, I'm not to blame.
Yeah.
All right. And how about you, Brandon? I know that you've done a lot of traveling around. I know you got your son that has been just awesomely taking up a lot of your attention there, and also getting out and about. And I see you got a little bit of the facial thing going here.
Well, that's because Romulus. Here's the thing: I cut myself shaving, right? And the song was so good. What happened was the song. I'm out shaving, and then I cut my lip, almost cut it off, right? And now I can't shave in that area
for a bit.
Yeah, otherwise I'm gonna keep re-injuring myself. You know what I'm saying?
You need a little healing time. Well,
I need some healing. It's like I need a girl who rise. Ah!
Bam.
Yeah, man.
All right. Well, good to be with everybody again here. Welcome to the Victory Unit podcast, stock market recap. Tomorrow, by the way, we will be doing a Wednesday Traders Town Hall, 4:15 Eastern time. Make sure you check that out. That is going to be free in the Victory Unit Discord. We want you there coming on because in a couple of weeks, we also have another amazing webinar that we want to get you guys kind of keyed up and ready for. So tomorrow's a good opportunity to do that. All right. And by the way, if you guys have any questions tonight, regarding markets, trading, investing, anything that moves the financial needle. I guess they can fire in live questions tonight, can't they, Brandon?
Man. Yeah. If they do it with a super chat, man, we'll address it. Otherwise, I probably won't see it.
You hear that? You guys can figure that out, right? Because
we got it under control. Don't even worry.
On my end, I'm just going to answer any questions that I see. So get them ready if you want to ask. And we're going to go ahead and show a little bit about the stock market here in just a moment. Tomorrow, by the way, as I'm getting ready to show this, Brandon, we have a big day because why is it a big day? Because we have the CPI report, the Consumer Price Index report. And anybody who's alive, not living under a rock, or if you need to go buy food or pay mortgages or buy anything, which kind of covers everybody, we all are noticing that in the last 3.5 years, we're paying more than we were for anything over the past 20, 25, or 30 years. And inflation is a hot topic of discussion. Why? Because we have borrowed so much money as a country, as a government, as communities, as companies, as individuals, and as cats and dogs, that we are hyper sensitive to the direction of interest rates, more so than at probably any other time in, I don't know, human history. So tomorrow, the CPI comes out tomorrow morning, and then there is a Federal Reserve meeting tomorrow afternoon that will be released at roughly 2 p.m. Eastern time. So there are some things going on tomorrow that are going to be keeping everybody quite lively and hopping and popping. And we'll get into a little bit about the possibilities of what's happening over there right about now. S&P closes at another rally high after closing at a high just a little bit yesterday.
All-time high.
All-time high, and then again all-time high today. And NASDAQ closes at a new all-time. This is in the back of Apple had gone up quite a bit after they finished their developer user conference.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. That, by the way, when a big cap stock that's already worth $2.5 trillion goes up 7%, you can see that tax on quite a bit of market valuation over there. They may have taken over the second place spot of the most valuable company on earth from NVIDIA. We'll have to check the stats on that tomorrow. But NASDAQ and S&P 500 go up on the back of the Apple move. And you can see both of these indexes closed at new all-time highs. The Dow Jones and the Russell 2000 did not. So the fund managers, the big money players out there, have essentially said for some time that they are going to sell, well, just about everything else to buy NVIDIA and, the other related types of AI. And that would include now Apple, Google's and those kinds of things. And that's it. They're really not interested in buying anything else out there. Not interested in buying really anything else out there. And if you're in these stocks, again, I have said it for some time, keep a very close eye on the exit, because historically speaking, going back 100 plus years, anytime you have an extended rally that goes on for a period of time, more than a few days or a few weeks, that is very, very narrow, like we see now, where they're really selling most things and buying only a few things. That tends to be a higher risk in a market environment. And it can end it could just end in losses, but it can also end in devastating bloodshed. So you do want to be a little bit careful on that note. And if you need further help, come to the Discord live Traders Town Hall tomorrow, 4:15 p.m. Eastern time, and we can get into a little bit about that as well. How about it? Okay.
Wow, Apple went up 7% yesterday.
Yeah, big day for Apple. And I'll go back to that stock if anybody cares. That is quite a move on the upside there. It is extremely overbought now, obviously, even putting in bearish divergences on this particular move. That doesn't mean much right now. You have to see a little bit further upside action and a continuation of these bearish divergences in order for there to be concern on the upside, if there is any concern on the upside in the somewhat near term. Okay, so again, one of the things that we've been focusing on, though, is you see the Dow Jones over here, which is the oldest stock market index in the world, dating back to the 1890s. And it is trading the same place that it was for the last several months. Russell 2000 at today's low was trading at the same place it was back in early December even. So we have 6 months. We now have 6 months of Russell 2000, which is where most of the stocks that trade in America reside. They have gone nowhere. And for the Dow, it's roughly about 4 months, 4.5 months, where the stocks, almost 5 months actually, where the stocks in the Dow have gone really nowhere. You can see the Dow Jones. This is a picture of the transportation index, also suffering back to where it was back in early December. And this is just a continual picture of what we see. Investors have traded everything else, and they're really just buying NVIDIA, Google, Amazon, Apple, and Microsoft.
Mm-hmm.
That's really kind of it. That's really all they're buying. Like, I've never seen in my history in this business, I've seen narrow rallies before.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen one this narrow before.
It's just like a few stocks that are
that's
pushing
it.
everything up.
That's it. It's just a few stocks. I've never seen anything this narrow before. And the challenge, though, is how risky does it get? Because the dot-com boom, when that became more and more narrow as you entered further and further into 1999, and fewer stocks were participating on the upside, and more stocks were looking like this. They were falling out of their own bull markets, and they were falling down and pulling back. The risk of that was, like I said, total annihilation. Everything got totally annihilated. Okay, you look at late 07 and then what led to 08, total annihilation. But I've also seen rallies like this that just end in pullbacks. They could be garden variety. Typically, I don't even know of a case actually where it ends up where everything just is okay.
Nothing goes up in a straight line forever.
Yeah, nothing goes up in a straight line. And again, just know your risk. I mean, I know my risk. I'm taking care of that. I'm continuing to move my portfolio up and to the right, even without owning any Apple and without owning any NVIDIA and without owning any Microsoft or Google or Amazon. Okay, I own actually a little bit of MSFO, which is that yield max derivative of Microsoft. And I own a little bit of Facebook, FBY, which is that derivative of Meta. Okay, so I do own those two, and they have been paying me quite well and making me nice money. But any type of real bulk of my money, I don't have real exposure, significant exposure to any of the stocks I just talked about. And yet, amazingly, I'm still making money. What are you talking about? Well,
yeah.
Because there's a lot of ways there's 1,001 ways to skin the market cat. And you can do this. You can learn about this tomorrow at 4:15 on our Discord. You can do this without opening yourself up to that risk of these very narrow rallies that the market is embarking upon right now. So there are definitely ways that you can do that. And we'll be talking more about that tomorrow and as well in our webinar coming up in a couple of weeks.
Sounds good.
So again, interest rates, the CPI tomorrow. So oil prices had pulled back. It's right about in here, which was April. So you got a couple of months now of pulling back, of falling oil prices, leveling out oil prices. And that's going to give the Fed some cover to say that, at least we're not talking about raising interest rates anymore. Everybody wants them to cut tomorrow. The big money knows there will be no interest rate cut tomorrow.
Yeah.
But the retail crowd thinks apparently that there will be a cut tomorrow. Otherwise, I don't know why they would be running some of these tech stocks up as much.
Yeah.
But there will be no interest rate cut tomorrow. Probably not at the July meeting either. I say probably, odds are probably at least 80% that there will be no interest rate cut at the July meeting as well. September is on the table for sure. Now, for the past 9 months, unlike everybody else in late 2023, everyone else thought there were going to be 6, even 7 interest rate cuts this year. Obviously, that's already impossible. So because there aren't 6 or 7 meetings left, so we know that that's impossible. And I've been on the side of 2. We'll see 2 this year. The problem with all these interest rate cut conversations, and this doesn't really get discussed that much, is, and maybe it's a can that has been kicked down the road for now because of the election. And
that's what I'm thinking, right? Because it's election year.
Could very well be that the can got kicked again. But at some point, all this debt, $35 trillion in debt, highest amount of debt in U.S. history, especially peacetime. You wonder what would happen if we had to go to war and borrow a bunch of money. Like in World War II, for example, we didn't have really practically no debt before the war started. And as a country, we were able to go out and borrow a lot of money to fund the war. And then after, over the next 10 and 15 years, we paid the debt back. Now we're borrowing money. There's no emergency. I mean, COVID, that was BS, obviously, in terms of the depth of the emergency that they were foisting upon us. But there's no wartime emergency. So you wonder, if we had to go to war, where would we get the money from? We're already, our credit cards are already maxed out. The reason I bring that up is because at some point, and of course I've been hearing about this for the 29 years of my career, but at some point there will have to be a reckoning for all the money that we've borrowed. And then it won't matter that the Fed is talking about cutting interest rates. If people who own our debt no longer want to buy it and they start selling what they own because they're concerned about the credit rating of the United States, interest rates are going to go higher. And it's a legitimate concern. It's a valid concern. It's a concern that any reasonable, logical, smart investor should be taking with incredible seriousness right now. And it's not being discussed with the level of seriousness in the highest circles of investing and trading in the world today as it should be. But that's what I'm here for.
Yeah, man.
That's one of the reasons I'm here. So you need to be thinking about that over the short term as well as, and more importantly, over the longer term. But I know most retail people like, screw it, just give me a trade tomorrow, something that's going to go up, a couple of bucks. But is that really going to help you get on a sustainable path to wealth for the long term over the next 20, 30, 40, and 50 years? No, it is not. Okay. It is not going to do that. We'll keep talking about a lot of things over here, but I want you to start also thinking and incorporating into your daily thought process and planning about the longer term implications of what's going on out there in the big picture as well.
All right. I got a question.
Sure.
How do you think, Saudi Arabia, they moved off, they were trading oil in dollars, right? So they said they're going to move away from that. How do you think that's going to affect things?
Well, they say that. Let's see it. Let's see it. That's part of the problem with the United States configuration of our debt and our political situation today, being almost any politician, regardless of party, is willing to spend more debt and other people's money without any ramifications or thought of negativity on that. Because where else are you going to go? We're the best of the worst. I mean, are you going to buy the euro and get involved with those socialist Eurocrats? No, you're not going to do that, right? You buy the yen. I mean, on a percentage basis, not absolute, but on a percentage basis, Japan is further in debt than we are. And they've proven to be just, one dumpster fire after another when it comes to managing their debt over the last 30 years. Are you going to buy the Chinese, whatever they call that, the Chinese currency? No, they kill people without any due process over there.
Yeah.
So obviously you're not going to do that. Are you going to buy the Brazilian, I don't know, the real? Please. You're going to buy I mean, what are you going to do?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So the government knows, the federal government knows, the politicians, the bureaucrats, the lifetimers, they all know that we are the best of the worst. There's really nowhere else to go. Even though we're a total nightmare financially. I mean, this is, like, as a U.S. citizen, it's just disturbing as much debt as we are willing to run around here. But people are still willing to buy U.S. dollars. People, meaning countries, governments, companies, individuals, institutions, they're still willing to buy this debt. They're still willing to trade in dollars. But I would like to see it. I personally would like to see Saudi Arabia say, you know what, we're not going to trade our oil in dollars anymore. I would like, before the Russian-Ukrainian war, 70% of all of Russia's transactions, international transactions, were done in US dollars.
Yeah. Today,
that's less than 20%. And the Russian economy internally is booming. It's about as well as it's ever done in history. That says something right there.
Yeah.
Seriously, people should stop and think about this shit, okay? Like, Russia was able to move away from the dollar, and what happened? They did really well. Now they have resources over there that
it's a huge country.
Yeah, there's a lot that people want to buy China, despite the fact that the U.S. Treasury Department threatened sanctions against India and anyone else that does business with Russia. The very next day, India started, continued to buy massive amounts of oil, and Madeleine Albright said, "Hey, you can't do that." And the Indians said, "What are you going to do about it?" And we did nothing. So that's just another bunch of horse shit. But I would like to see the Saudis do that in more countries, because maybe that will be the wake-up call that the politicians need to say, wait a minute, we need to change the system. We need to change what's going on, because we're at risk. Investors in America, American citizens, Western citizens, whether it's Japanese, whether it's Western Europe, Mexico, Canada, Brazil, South America, Central America, we're all at risk because of this. We're all at tremendous risk because of this amount of debt. It's like a time bomb that could just go off. And that's a definite problem. And I know people out there, again, they're like, screw it, just give me a stock idea. Give me something to buy tomorrow. But you got to start thinking about these longer term pictures. It was how thinking about this all the time and incorporating measures to ensure that I made money, consistent returns, regardless of market direction, was how I was able to find and identify the top of the .com boom and profit during the crash. How I was able to identify the top of the 07 financial housing crisis market and profit on the way down. That's how I've been able to do these things. That's how I've been able to do these things. So if you look on the right over here, we've got 11 sectors that make up the stock market, the U.S. economy. Only a few of them look like the S&P or the NASDAQ.
Yeah.
Most of them look like the Dow or the Russell 2000, which these guys don't look like they're, thumping in bear markets, but again, they don't look healthy. There's a difference in this chart and in this chart. Okay. There's a difference between this one, this one here, and what we're seeing in this. And there's more of these other guys that are just here. Here's finance lately. This looks like it could be threatening a double top in the near term. Got industrials that's threatening to complete a double top in the somewhat near term. So, and housing, this is a big chunk of the U.S. economy. This chart looks like it could potentially roll over in the next month or two and start a downtrend, a significant downtrend. So there's some things out there to be concerned about, that the market pricing is saying, hey, not all is NVIDIA and Apple and Microsoft. And those companies are going up. How is it passing around to the rest of the market and hence the rest of the economy? So risks out there that are not being talked about really well anywhere else that we want to make sure that we are fully aware of. Now, if you are looking to be long, I believe that one of the strategies that we've employed, Brandon, lately is to buy things that they go down a lot and they're ready to bounce.
Yeah.
They go down a lot because, again, the markets are not in full-fledged bear markets. So things that go down, there's enough money out there that they are attracting some buying. Once they bounce, they start falling again. But that's one of the things we've done. So I was looking at this stock here. I'll see it went up today. I was hoping it was going to go down for another few days. I do own this as well in my retirement account, but I was hoping it was going to fall for a few more days because, again, when it falls, it tends to have these nice little bounces. Okay? It's done that quite a bit for the last several months. So this is a stock like that. Now, there are others out there that, again, once they get hit, you have an opportunity to do a little bit of buying. And before we wrap up today, we're going to talk about one of the biggest ones, at least conversationally, that we've had for a while that has been hit recently.
Yeah, this one that's on my mind.
That could be during one of those type of opportunities. So again, CPI tomorrow, due to the fact that oil prices are lower than they've been a couple of months ago and kind of balancing out in here, will probably not be a face-ripping type of inflationary number. Probably somewhat benign, probably within a point of the analyst expectations. And in the end, not much of a market moving event. The Fed meeting, 2:00 tomorrow, they will not drop interest rates. They will not decrease interest rates, cut. They'll probably talk about that they won't even do it in July. And they'll say, we'll leave open possibilities for cuts sometime in the fall, later this year, early next year, which is something that they've been saying for months and months and months. They don't change their tune. They keep saying, yeah, down the road, we're probably going to cut rates, just not now.
Well, listen, you guys got to join that Trader Town Hall free in the Discord so you learn about it.
Yep, we're excited about it.
I got a question. Only got one question. Okay. There's only one stock I want you to look at.
Is it coming up?
Yeah.
I'll take H, please.
Yeah.
There it is.
It's right where we said the buy.
Yep. we've been saying this for a while, that don't, once it gives these pops, you don't have to chase it.
Mhm.
Get an opportunity, let it pull back to the 200-day moving average somewhere in there. And here it is in that area. And this is, probably good a place as any. This is a double top though. Right here. So let me draw that little line. So you got this one right here, and then you got another one down here. Okay, so it did complete a double top on a little bit of a volume surge. So the downside possibility, or a further downside possibility, is real in here. It could be, let's see, 69. What is that? 90. So we're talking. I mean, yeah, it could definitely fall into the 40s for sure over the next couple of months. No, there's no question. That's a very real possibility based on this double top formation here.
Okay. So maybe all right. So everybody who bought, so you saying we're not recommending buying it right here.
Right. No, we've held off, and now that it broke, now that it has confirmed that double top, now these things aren't guaranteed. They're just patterns that have high probabilities of success, but they're not guaranteed. But this certainly is a fairly classic double top over here. You can see that as it's rising, the volume's going down. As it's falling, especially here, volume goes up. The rise volume goes down, down, down. As it falls, there's a couple of big volume spikes. This is a classic textbook double top.
All right. Well, listen, if you got everybody who bought last time, you saying they're still up. Is it time to take profits or?
Yeah, I mean, and always situations like this, anytime I have a stock that makes a run like this, I always do the same thing, as you know.
Okay. Yeah, you sell. Yeah.
I take quarter, third profit, and then I keep raising stop, and I make sure that I'm never going to get out at a loss at that point with whatever I'm still holding, for sure. So if depending on where I bought this would determine how I would keep playing that. So I would still have profit on this for sure.
I'm still up. I'm up about 30%.
Okay.
On this, and I mean, at one point it was 90%, right?
Yeah.
But I made a lot of money selling calls against it.
Well, you have to incorporate that in then.
Yeah. So like, if you could count that, then I'm way up.
Yeah, you're probably up at least 50 or 60%, including the calls that you sold.
I
would ensure that, again, I'd be selling, a quarter or a third here. And I would ensure that I would have a stop loss on the remaining at above purchase price. So to ensure that I'm not taking a loss on anything whatsoever in here.
If we get a bounce here, what do you say? Still.
Yeah.
You think this
you're coming into the, we're getting close to the really bearish months of the year, August and September. It's just not a time. And that's one of the reasons that the Dow and the Russell 2000 are just acting funky and just kind of lethargic and not going anywhere. We've said for a while, don't be in a hurry. You can buy stocks in September at discounts. You're paying for them earlier in the year. And that's, still the case in here.
All right, man. So listen, that's what it is. It was a good ride. It was a good ride. Sounds like it was. That's what I'm hearing. It was a good ride. And I bought a bunch the other day.
Okay.
But I hadn't talked to you first. I just went in, and so we'll see if I get a bounce.
Yeah, if you get a bounce, you might want to keep in mind that the risks are definitely tilting more to downside activity over the next 2 to 3 months.
Okay.
Then the opportunity for upside, significant upside on that stock over the next couple of months.
All right. Hey, that's good to know, man. That's good to know. Hey, guys, it's been real.
Absolutely. Great time as always. Again, tomorrow, 4:15 Eastern time. Discord, Victory Unit Live, Traders Town Hall. We'll be looking forward to meeting everybody in there with your questions. And that's where you can fire questions in if you want to save them for then. We have a webinar coming up 2 weeks from tomorrow as well that we'll be looking forward to seeing everybody also. So thank you so much. This is General Romulus. Hot summer nights.
All right, let's go. Shout out to all right, we got some super chats. What? Go ahead. What they saying?
We have Adrian says, "Thank you. I'm just kind of scared, but let's go."
Hey man, I get it, man. Listen, it's okay to be scared, but it's not okay to let fear prevent you from moving. Because that is a coward, right? So but courage is moving in spite of fear. You know what I'm saying? And it's habit forming. Like being cowardly is habit forming, right? So next time if you don't do this because you're scared, right? And that's the only reason, right? Next time you want to do something you know you should do, and you're scared, it's going to be easier for you to coward because you have practiced being cowardly. But the opposite is true too. If you practice being courageous, the next time you're next time you get opportunity to be courageous, it'll be easier for you to be courageous because you've practiced it, right? Everything is habit form. Some of you got to take into account. It's not even just about HET. It's not even about this. It's about the man you want to be. Like, who do you want to be as a man? You know what I'm saying? Like, what kind of guy do you want raising your kids? The bitch version of you or the fucking G version of you, right? And I'm not calling you a bitch. You know what I'm saying? You gotta assess yourself. But it's one or the other. It's actually binary. It's one of you, either a bitch or you a G. Ain't no in between. You either a coward or you're courageous. You know, and you got it. You know, which one do you want to raise your kids? One of them's gonna do it. Yeah. All right. What else?
We have the noble one. They make fun of you for not cooking. That's what a female supremacist does.
Yeah.
Makes fun of you for not cooking. Cooking is for women.
Yeah. Listen, unless you are barbecuing or you are an Italian mob boss, you don't need to be cooking. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to be cooking, right? You can if you want, especially if you enjoy it, man. But you know, cooking is usually reserved for women, Italian mob bosses, and and you know, and niggas when they barbecue. You know what I'm saying? Grilling and shit. You know. Other than that, man, leave the cooking to the ladies. All right. Oh.
El Bezzy for Thot Repelling G.
That's what's up, man. Shout out to you, brother. All right. We'll hop back into it. Yeah, throw the intro back on. If you're just joining us before the market recap, I was talking about the main the differences between millionaires, the mindset of millionaires, and the mindset of people with average income, right? And the first one was embracing difficulties versus looking for shortcuts, cheats, codes, you know, hacks, right? All right. The second difference in mindset is focusing on opportunities versus focusing on obstacles. So I remember when I first started my YouTube channel, and somebody was asking, there was a guy I know, he was in really great shape, and he was a trainer at one of the gyms I worked at, and he had heard that I started a YouTube channel. I wasn't trying to tell anyone, right? Because I don't tell people my goals. I just do it because it's cooler that way when you accomplish your goals. And if you fail, nobody knows you failed. You could fail in secret. But anyway, he found out about a YouTube channel. I was like, yeah, I'm starting a YouTube channel. He was asking me questions, and he was definitely interested, but he was like, man, you know, it's just, he came up with a bunch of reasons why it was difficult to start a YouTube channel, why he wasn't going to do it. Oh man, now I got to get a camera. I got to learn how to edit videos. Blah, 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 blah. He came up with a list of reasons. They were all good reasons. Like none of it was bullshit. Right. He let the obstacles cloud it. He only saw the obstacles instead of seeing the opportunity, right? And in between you and any opportunity, anything you want to accomplish is going to be obstacles, right? And it's kind of just like what I was telling the brother before, right? You can see these obstacles in the path of you and your goal, but does that mean that you should cower, right? Imagine your life as a movie, and everybody has goals that they're trying to accomplish. And in between them and those goals, right, there are obstacles, challenges, villains, right? So imagine your movie, you see all these obstacles, and instead of taking on those challenges, you say, yeah, you know what? Fuck it, I'm just gonna go home. That movie would suck. Imagine if imagine if the Avengers was just like, yo, man, let's just let Thanos get the stones. I don't like half these motherfuckers anyway. Yeah, that movie would suck. No one will watch it. But instead, they fought Thanos and lost. And it was still a great movie. One of my favorite movies. And it was the highest grossing movie of all time. And they failed. These motherfuckers lost, but it was still a good movie. Like, fuck, man, don't you want your life to be a good movie? Like, fuck, man. Even if you do fail, at least you went for it. Because here's the thing. Fuck, I just said this. I didn't know. Here's the thing. When you want to do something and you let the obstacles stop you from even trying because you're scared, it's okay to be It's okay to be scared of the obstacles in front of you, but it's not okay to be a coward because it's habit forming, right? Whatever you do is habit forming. So if you let one obstacle stop you from even attempting, right? Now you've practiced being a coward. And next time you're in a situation like that, where you want to do something, but the obstacles give you a lot of trepidation or fear, it's going to be easy. It's going to be easier for you to cower in the face of those obstacles because you've practiced being a coward. But the opposite is true, right? If you face your fears, even if you lose, the fact that you acted courageously, now you've practiced courage. And next time you are in an opportunity, next time you are in a situation where you want to accomplish something and there's an obstacle, a scary one, frightening in your path, it'll be easier for you to have courage and be courageous in those under those circumstances because you've practiced courage. Right? Now, here's the thing. What do you think happens if you practice being a coward over and over and over and over and over and over again? Yeah, that's going to be your fucking default move. That's who you are. Right? We are what we repeatedly do. Socrates, one of them motherfuckers, one of them old school motherfuckers said that shit. I think it was Socrates. And he said, yeah, you are what you repeatedly do. So if you are repeatedly being a bitch and a coward because you're scared, what does that make you? Right? We are what we do, right? If I say I'm a fucking astronaut, I can say it all I want. But if I don't put on a motherfucking spacesuit and leave Earth's atmosphere, then it's bullshit, right? You can't bullshit yourself, right? And if you are repeatedly acting like a coward, well, you can't call yourself courageous, can you? Right? But if you are repeatedly being courageous, even if you lose, at least you're not a bitch, right? At least you're not a bitch. And here's the thing with business. You don't have, oh, it wasn't Socrates, it was Aristotle. Aristotle said that shit, man. I should have known it was Aristotle. All right. You don't have to win every time in business. In business, you only got to win. You only got to win once. You only need one successful business to be a millionaire, right? That's all you really need, right? So you can fail as many times as you need to, right? But those failures are going to not only give you experience, more importantly, it help you build the courage that you need to go after your goals, right? So look at the opportunities and face your fears. Yeah, the obstacles are there and they're real. A lot of competition. You don't have any money, blah, blah, blah. Go for it anyway, right? Because even if you fail, you'll be able to look yourself in the fucking mirror and know that you tried. You know what I'm saying? You know that you tried. And you won't never have to worry about what could have been. All right. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence is then an act. The excellence is not an act, it's a habit. Right? That's what the homie Aristotle said. Now check it out. Oh, wait a minute. Some people said the audio's off. Y'all hear me? They said we back. Yeah, maybe. I don't know what happened. But yo, this is I lost my train of thought a little bit. But this is super important. This is super critical, right? Because you don't want to build a habit of being a fucking bitch. Right? It's super important. All right. But here's the thing: persistence is undefeated. So if you keep going, you will win. And I remember, I failed at a lot of things. A lot of things I failed at. Right. I remember, a lot of y'all know I used to be signed to Sony Records as a rapper / producer. And that's how I got good at making all these beats that you hear on my YouTube videos and shit. Right. But I got dropped from the label when they merged with BMG. But even though it was a failure, I don't look back and be like, man, what could happen if I went all out? Like, I have no regrets about that. And I don't sit back wondering what if. Because I went all out. I went for it, right? Are you doing that with your life and your goals? All right. The next difference between the mindset of a millionaire and the mindset of someone making average income is long-term focus, long-term vision versus short-term gratification, right? So I'm going to use YouTube again as an example. My students in my business, high ticket trainer, I usually tell them not to focus on YouTube to get their online clients because YouTube is a grind, man. It's difficult to build a big YouTube, but you can build Instagram and a Facebook following a lot faster. And yes, people are still making money off Facebook, right? And so I basically had them focus on that. But I did tell my students about 2 years ago, I said, listen, if you want to post to YouTube, you should know that it's going to be it's going to take at least 1 or 2 years of consistency for you to start getting any traction. So this means you'll have to do something for 1 or 2 years before you start seeing the fruits of that labor. And it has to be consistent. And almost none of them did it. And the ones who did do it, almost all of them quit after just a few months. They're like, I'm not getting no traction here. I'm going to quit. And I was like, hey, man, listen, I get it. I told you not to do it unless you were going to do it for a year or two. You know what I'm saying? Just don't do it if you're not going to do it for a year or two. But I had one student who did. I remember. And his name was Cory Armstrong. He is the reason that every time I post a video, somebody says, whatever the topic of the video, they say, yo, that's keeping you big as hell. Because he started this. Hold on. I'll bring it up. So I told Cory to do this, man. He started doing it about 2 years ago. Now Cory has 250,000. What's up? He has about 250,000 subscribers. Right? Videos get tons of views, and he makes money off his YouTube now, after 2 years later, but after consistently posting, right? Cory, he's made $50,000 from his online fitness business almost every month this year. I think 1 month he had 60. That's his record, and we're trying to help him break it. He's kind of stuck at 50K, but 50K. And a lot of it came from YouTube because he was able to put in that work up front consistently for 2 years to build it, right? If he was just doing Instagram, he'd probably still be at 30K a month, which is cool, right? But he's trying to his goal is to get to 80K, right? Because if he does that, that's $1 million, right? And he's putting in the work, putting in the groundwork to do that. You get what I'm saying? So if you can have a long-term vision, right? And instead of looking for instant gratification, if you don't need to see the results today or tomorrow, right? But you can still push, you can still work at that task every day until you get there, then I promise you can win. But almost nobody would do it, right? But those who can end up becoming rich, end up making it. It took me like years on YouTube before I started getting any traction. Right? Because I had to start YouTube before Instagram existed to build my online fitness business. It took me years of working multiple jobs and posting YouTube before I started getting some traction. And even when I started getting traction, it wasn't enough money to quit those jobs. Right? You got to be able to plant those seeds. Right? the first motherfucker on earth to ball was the motherfucker who decided he was going to plant the seeds instead of just eating them right away. Right? These other motherfuckers eating the seeds. And he was like, nah, I ain't even going to eat these seeds right now. You see these right here? I ain't even going to eat them right now. He put them in the ground. People were probably looking at him like he was a crazy motherfucker, man. You putting the seeds in the ground? Nigga, is you crazy? He's like, watch, right? And then he came back the next day. Where your trees at, nigga? He was like, yo, just wait. And it probably had to wait for a long time. The next thing you know, the trees start growing. He's like, oh, I see them trees, man, but ain't no fruits. You should have ate them seeds. And then, but then next you know, after a long period of time, the trees, they keep growing and they start bearing fruit. And now he can eat the fruit off them trees forever. You get what I'm saying? Wise man once said, don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but judge them by the seeds you plant. That's Roberto Louis Stevenson said that. You know what I'm saying? The fourth difference between people with the millionaire mindset and the poor boy, average person mindset is solution-based thinking versus problem-focused thinking. And it's very similar to one of the other ones I said earlier, but it reminds me of a quote I heard from Robert Kiyosaki. Bruce Lee. Right. From Robert Kiyosaki. And he said, poor people say I can't afford it. He said poor people say I can't afford it. Rich people say, how can I afford it? Right. I think I told this story before, but I was taking my son to Lego Discovery World. It's in a mall in Atlanta. And I was taking him to Lego Discovery World. It's in a mall. And in that same mall, there's an Omega watch store. I like Omega watches, I don't own one, but I like them. Right. And I walked into Omega, my son on my shoulders, and it had this big, they had this Planet Ocean, the chronograph version, right? This watch is huge. It's a mess, but I like it. And I'm trying it on, and I'm like, how? And I was like, how much is this one? And the dude said, it's about $10,000. And my son was like, $10,000? He's 6 years old. He's like, $10,000? That's too much. That's too much. And he don't know that his dad got a fucking $200,000 watch. Is that like that'd be one of my cheapest watches. He don't know that, right? But I was like, listen, bruh, what did I tell you? What did I tell you? I said, you never say something. No, he said, that's too expensive. And I said, bro, never say something is too expensive, right? You always say because we can get anything we want if we work hard enough for it. And that's something I'm really focused on bringing in his head. I don't know who told him that shit is too expensive. I don't know who told him that shit. Wasn't me. And so I told him that. Then I said, yo, let me get 2 of these so I can flex on this little nigga. So this little nigga was really good out here. And but it's like anything you want, you just got to figure out a way to get it. Right? Never sit back and say you can't do something. Never say something's too expensive. Never say you can't look for a way around it. Look, like never say you can't do it. Say, hey, I need to find a way. Right? You always got to think in terms of the solution, not in terms of the problem. This is very important. Right? Like Robert Kiyosaki also said that by automatically saying the words, I can't afford it, your brain stops working, right? By asking, how can I afford it? You put your brain to work, put it for you, and it starts looking for paths, looking for avenues. But I'm like that with everything in my life. I won't say, oh, I'm so thirsty. I'm like, yo, I need to get something to drink, right? Instead of saying, oh, I'm sleepy, it's like, no, I got to get more energy. You know what I'm saying? And saying, instead of saying, oh, my girl's on a period, I'm saying what that mouth do. You know, you got to find a way. You always got to look for the solutions, is what I'm trying to say. And there's always a solution if you look for it. I promise you. And the next thing that's the next difference between the Poe mindset and the baller mindset is embracing continuous learning versus complacency, right? Sometimes, sometimes when I talk to people who are broke or just, average income, what I can tell, they don't want it bad enough, right? They start thinking about what it's necessary for them to, make more money. And when I tell them what they got to do, they're like, I can see in their eyes that they don't want it that bad. And sometimes they tell me that, like, I don't want it that bad, man. What's the easy way? I'm like, you don't want it bad enough. And it's not necessarily your fault, right? Because, a motherfucker in the projects right now is living better than kings like 300 years ago, right? Them motherfuckers didn't even have air conditioning. Motherfuckers sweating like a whore in church. Just cause ain't nobody invent air conditioning yet, right? If they wanted to fuck, but by contrast, right? Poor boy in the projects, he got AC. He can change the temperature in his own home. That'd have been witchcraft back in the day, right? He's got a goddamn supercomputer in his pocket, and now it's got artificial intelligence in it as of yesterday. You know what I'm saying? He's got endless entertainment on this thing, pornography. You know what a king had to do if he wanted to see some titties? Murder. You think I'm lying? Read the autobiography of read the biography of Genghis Khan. We can all pull up some titties right now. Whatever size you want, different colors, sizes, shapes. Some of them look like torpedoes. Some of them look like yams. Some of them look like watermelons. You can get whatever you want, man. You know how many lands you'd have to invade to get that kind of variety of titty? I see why motherfuckers are complacent. They got all the titties they want on demand. They can gamble on this motherfucking thing. Right? Tons of entertainment. And motherfuckers just don't want it bad enough, Now, I was lucky to be forced into a situation where like being regular wasn't enough after my father committed suicide, because now I had to take care of the family. I had to really get to work, and I started working like 12, 14 hours a day, and building my business on the side because, it just wasn't enough money. Right. But the beauty of it is it built a work ethic that I was able to carry into, back when I got the family on my feet, I was able to take that same work ethic and start using it to really ball. once I dug us out of that hole, right? You're gonna have to implement that on yourself. You're gonna have to figure that out, right? And one of the ways to do that is to not only continue to learn, but get different kind of exposures. You know, a lot of people say comparison is the thief of joy. I hear that a lot. I think that can be true, but there's also a positive. Once you get different exposure to what's out there, right, it might make you raise your standards, right? I grew up in the South Side of Chicago, man, a black ghetto, and I got sent away to military school. I got one little fight, and my mom got scared. Said, "You're moving to military school," and that wasn't as funny as I thought it was going to be. I was going to quote the Will Smith song. Edit that out when we do the thing. I thought, man, this is about to be hilarious. It wasn't. Anyway, I got sent to military school. And I had a roommate at that military school. Now, mind you, I was like one of the only poor black kids there because I was there on some sort of affirmative action type shit, right? They needed another black. So they let me in for next to nothing. But everybody else was pretty rich, right? And one of my roommates, dude named Cory Phillips, I'll never forget this shit. He was like, "Hey, you want to come to my house for the weekend?" I was like, "That's cool." Instead of going to the goddamn war zone, the South Side of Chicago, yeah, I go with you, right? And yo, this motherfucker lived in a mansion. His dad had mad cars. They had horses, man. It was in Wisconsin. They had horses. I had never seen a horse in real life before, you know what I'm saying? And when I saw that, I was like, oh shit, there's another world. This is real. It felt real as opposed to just watching it on TV. It's like, oh, this is real. I was like, "Man, what your dad do?" He said, "Man, he a doctor. He just a regular doctor." He was like, "Yeah, he like a feet doctor, footologist." And he a feet doctor, huh? You know what? I should go to college. I wasn't going to go to college for that. I was just like, I was just going to go back to Chicago and try to get a leadership position in some sort of criminal organization, street gang, most likely. Betting my options, the Vice Lords look good, but I like what the BDs are doing too. Like, the GDs have good infrastructure. I was just weighing out my options. But instead I went to college, but it was because of that exposure, right? So comparison doesn't have to be the thief of joy, right? Comparison can be the fuel for your ambition, right? Right. So you definitely got to get some exposure, change your environment. It's super key, right? And get some more exposure to things. Listen, and I have a video that's going to help you do just that. Go watch that video now. I think that one was off the rails. That one went off the rails. I think we got some more super chats.
We have Luna with just $2.
He's just throwing up money. I like it. I'm with it, man. That's baller shit. Just throwing out money just cuz.
We have Al Bezzi back. BBC, no bull. Whenever I feel scared to do something, I think about the story you tell about when your father died. I know you had to overcome. In your story, I find courage to stop being a bitch and go.
Hey, come on, man. El Busy, shout out to you, brother. Let's go, man. So, man, I feel like Batman when people tell me that shit. Like Batman, his parents got murked in front of him. Then he became the Batman and inspired Gotham. That's how I be feeling when y'all say that, man. Thank you. And then
we have Nathaniel with $1. He did ask a question, though.
Oh, Nathaniel?
He asks, Brandon, I have a question. I wrestle and I try to eat clean, but always crave something sweet. Any advice? I told him stop eating sweets.
Oh, he tries to eat clean. You would try, baby, Nathaniel? You would try, baby? One of the reasons you crave sweets is because it's your body when you're working a lot. think your body knows that, a simple carbohydrate is the quickest way to get energy. You get what I'm saying? So you might crave sweets under those circumstances. It's an evolutionary thing, right? It's the quickest way your body can get glucose, right? And your body knows that. That's why you crave sweets. What you can do is don't wait till you're fucking starving, right? Seriously, if you manage your meal timing a little better, sometimes what happens is your body won't go into that emergency mode. Like, we need energy right now. Get this motherfucker, have this motherfucker eat a candy bar or something, right? That's a big reason why someone who's active may crave sweets, right? And it works too. That's why Gatorade has sugar in it, right? It will work for performance in the short term. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're at a meet and you need some extra energy, eat a fucking candy bar. Remember Beast Mode from the Seahawks? He used to eat Skittles before every play. He went out. That it is the thing in the short term. And you got to remember it. Training for athletics is different from training for aesthetics too, right? So it really depends on what your goals are at the same time. But if you manage your meals more appropriately or do some sort of fasting where you learn to control your cravings a little better, what happens is you'll have mastery over that, Yeah. You're probably just waiting till you're fucking starving, and then your body's like, yo, what's the quickest way to get some energy? If you don't wait till you're starving, then you won't have the cravings as much. Or you can do some sort of fasting, learn, and that will teach you how to manage your cravings a little better. All right.
We have Luna.
Mm-hmm.
Live with mom. Started a detailing business in New Jersey. Friend
Right.
told me Texas is better for cost of living and business. Stay in Jersey or move to Texas.
Nigga. Almost everything is better than New Jersey. Motherfucking Kuwait. Goddamn Gaza. Almost everything is better than New Jersey. What is that smell? That's what I think about when I think of New Jersey. I think about driving on 995, trying to get to New York, and it's like, what is that smell? Oh, fuck, we in New Jersey. We in New Jersey. No, I'm just fucking with you, man. I'm just fucking with you. Listen, if you move out your mama's house, you're not gonna have a better cost of living than that. Right? Ain't nothing better than free, fam. Ain't no free houses in Texas. I know that much. And in Texas, I don't know. Do you know how to ride a horse? I don't. I don't know how to lasso a pig. That's why I never moved to Texas. There's some cool shit. Texas has no state income tax, but I'm cool. Listen, if I was you, I'd work on your business, stack some bread, and stay with your mom for as long as possible, until you can stack up and really have money to deploy against your goal. You're in a good position, actually. I wish I would have had the opportunity to stay with my parents. I haven't lived with my parents since I was 14. So I don't really know what that's like, man. But I imagine that not living with them from age 14 afforded me a lot of opportunities for hardship. What else we got?
We have Mob 722.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon, what would you say to someone trying to make it out the hood? Your channel is a big blessing. Thank you for everything. It gives hope.
Hey man, I'm glad I can help. Listen, it's 9 o'clock. I gotta go, but I will answer your question, but I won't answer it here. Here's where the question was answered in detail. If you go into the Victory Unit Discord, there's a free course called Baller Mindset. It's 100% free, and it really outlines every step you should take to make it out the hood and get this money. You know what it is. Make sure y'all do that. Also, listen, guys, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the newsletter Big Money Methods. Another free resource I put together for y'all. It's really some good articles written by me and the homies, and it's 100% free. We never charge you nothing. You don't get no ads or nothing like that. It's free. Sign up for that now. And listen, remember, guys, don't dance while you shave. Don't dance while you shave. Else you can't shave. That's why I got a mustache right now, because I can't keep scraping the scar with a blade over and over again. All right. We do this every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. This has been another episode of Victory Talk. I'll let y'all. Peace.